So we'll start from standing today for a change. You can find the middle of your mat. Just start by playing with the feet, rolling out the toes, making sure to play with both the top and the bottom of the foot. Bring it back behind you, sink into the ankle. Savor the barefoot time and just use this as a way to bring your focus into the body, just happening to start with the feet. Rolling the ankles, the toes, spreading the big toe and the pinky toe apart, nice big high 5 feet. Then slowly starting to be a little more organized. We'll bring the heels underneath the hip sockets so that your skeleton is stacked nicely. You start to rock forward and back, and I'm going to take a moment with the eyes closed. Feel that shift. Every structure is only as good as its foundation. So as I rock forward and back, I'm really feeling the way that's playing out through my structure. The way the foundation is affecting the whole tower, all the way up to the crown of the head. And then I'll slowly come towards stillness, not too far forward in my toes, not too far back in my heel, just a settled, big, grounded footprint. And as I press down, straight down into the ground, you feel that rebound action climb straight up through the skeleton, drawing yourself a little taller, still staying with eyes closed to deepen the breath. So I've already started to activate and contract as we've set the feet, and feel that bring action into the muscles of the shins up to the shin bones, muscles of the thighs up to the thigh bones, starting to lift the lower core, pelvic floor, low belly, low back. And this is already starting to affect the breath. So I'm really cultivating action in the rib cage, front, back, and sides. Feel the ribs move like the gills of a fish, like accordion bellows. I'm looking for this powerful breath in the chest, which allows me to stabilize the muscles around the hips. Gently lift the lower core. This is going to change the way I'm carrying my spine, the way I'm carrying the shoulders. So the more aligned I am from underneath, the less the shoulders have to grip to compensate. Continuing that awareness all the way up into the neck, into the way I'm carrying the head. A lot of us tend to carry the head slightly dumped forward, so I'm going to consciously lift and level the jaw, sprouting straight up through the center of the skull. And finally, before we start moving, gently lifting the tongue up to the palate. This will create the ha sound we're looking for in the back of the throat. We know that we're carrying the weight of the head with the deeper muscles in the neck. And so also slightly, deliberately narrow the passageway of the breath so that each inhale and exhale is conscious and complete. And then from here, softly open the eyes, circle the shoulders. Now depending on the room you're in and where you've got some wingspan to reach out, if you're in a small space, you might stand along the length of your mat like I am. You might have room to stand at the top of your mat. But either way, wherever you can take the arms out to either side, I'm going to really expand. And then swivel, palms up, biceps up. I'm just going to stay here for a second, thinking of the 4 points of a compass. So I'm reaching north and south, up through the head, down through the feet. And then I'm reaching east and west. And I'm going to start to play with this little lean from side to side. And the intention is to keep expanding as if your arms arms were the rope in a game of tug of war. So I've got two opposite actions, and each time I lean, I'm deepening the stretch. You can feel the stretch running through my fingers, palms, inside the elbow, into the bicep. The more activated my fingers are, reaching like little tendrils, the more I'm going to deepen this conversation so that I'm fully expanded out. I'm as wide as I can possibly get. Up through the back of the throat, down through the feet, fully expanded out. And then I'm going to continue all the way up overhead so that when I do finally reach overhead, I'm aligned in such a way that I'm not clamping up into my neck. Yeah. I'm taking extra time here. So from now on, every time you reach up, if you have the room, you're going to take a path that swivels palms open, biceps open, so that as you reach, you arrive nice and open in the shoulder girdle, the neck is free. And then from here, I'm going to keep the arms up in the air and just lift and drop the heels a few times, playing with the footprint. Keeping those sparky fingers. Bringing some awareness back down to those feet. And spark right up on the tippy toes, if you can. So I'm especially on my big toe. You'll notice if you roll out to your pinky, you'll tend to melt back down onto the footprint. So plug in that heavy foundation, that heavy ball joint. Keep breathing. See if you can sprout up even just another millimeter of height, getting tall, swiveling those biceps around so that I can reach without climbing into my ears. Keep that spark. Drop your heels. Come back down to a flat foot, but keep that spark. Sink down into your first lightning pose. I'm folding into the knees, yes, but I'm going to drop back into my hips to take pressure off the kneecaps. Just have a glance and make sure that your knees and your toes are doing the same thing. So if this is happening and I'm knocking my knees in, you're either going to fix your feet forward, or if you have to kind of plie a little bit, that's fine. But I want the knees and the toes to be doing the same thing, whatever it looks like. Hopefully they're pointing forward. I'm leaving you here on purpose. We're burning it up a little bit. One more big breath. And then melt down, all the way down, hands on the floor. And starting to warm up, I'm going to shed some layers. Just take this time, I'm not interested in straight legs at all. I'm just kind of bouncing, pretend you're on a trampoline. Bounce the knees, nod your head, wiggle out the shoulders. And then use those springy legs. The idea is spraying off your foundation so you're not hoisting with your back. I'm just going to stay soft and evolve and roll and sprout like a seed. And eventually, as I reach up again, I'm going to turn biceps up, palms up. Thumbs line up at the back of the room. You've got that nice spread shoulder alignment so the neck is free as you reach. Power it up again, sink back into your lightning pose. So I'm keeping the attention up through the fingers. My shoulders are reaching without making me scrunch. Sink back into the glutes to take pressure off the knees. Keep questioning how you're using your feet. So while you stay here, and again, just gently warm up, I'm going to lean forward and back here. Playing with my toes, playing with my heels. Notice as you come into your toes, you're going to load the knees a little more. You'll feel the top of your thighs working a little more. Rock back into your heels. Sink down. Zip your belly as you sit. Feel the back side work a little more. Feel the hammies work a little more. And melt all the way back down. Wiggle out the shoulders. So contrasting moments of heat with moments of release. Each time you come to a releasing moment, you might feel a bit more open. Have a little more room to explore some shapes, move around. Plug in those feet. Now you might choose to come up flat back like a deadlift. Make sure your spine feels good. If you take this route, palms up, biceps up on your way up. Keep the arms framed up overhead. I'm consciously turning my thumbs to the back of the room. Shoulders go wide as they reach up. The neck is free. Sink one more time into your lightning pose. And this time, looking for depth. backside, most of us over-rely on the quads and the knees. Just take some pressure off those knees as you sink back. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Inhale. And then the next time you exhale, melt it all the way back down. Wiggle off the shoulders, shake off the head. So it's a clear decision whether you choose to evolve up through the spine or whether you come up flat like a deadlift. It's either one or the other. And you're going to use those big feet, those strong legs underneath you. They're both valid. But it's one or the other. Not some weird Frankenstein lurch up through the spine in between. Good. So we'll head towards the back of the mat from here. Grounding the feet. I like to work hip width apart. If you want to bring your feet together, it's all good. But they're just different, so feel free to play. I'm going to turn my biceps open, palms open on my way up. Nice big wide shoulders. One more breath here. And then we'll add to the sequence. Inhale. Exhale, melt down. Hands gently on the floor. Maybe the legs are straight, maybe not. Now I'm going to look forward, lift my heels, and we'll walk out into downward dog. First downward dog of the day. So again, I'm not looking for straight lines, but I'm just starting to wiggle out my pose. You can rock from side to side. Shake off your head. Nod yes. Shake no. And then ooze on down to the kneecaps. And we'll take a moment to warm up the wrists. So just like we started by playing with the feet, I'm going to take a moment to play with the hands, getting into both the front and back of the wrist. Just like we woke up the toes, I want to wake up my fingers. And then we'll come to the shoulders once more. I'm going to take the hands a little further out. So notice how I'm actively pushing the floor away. So it's not a child's pose. I'm thinking about plugging in my hands. It's not a shove in the wrist. So if my hands are coming up like this, I'm going to really send those knuckles down, fingerprints down. I'm going to push down, and again, I'm going to look to roll my biceps up as much as I reasonably can. Yeah, so I've got pretty open elbows. Yours might not rotate that much, but the intention is to roll the biceps up, which will bring the shoulders wide away from the neck. Push the floor, then come back to your downward dog once more. And see if that doesn't feel open and structured at the same time. Nice long neck, plugged in hands, plugged in shoulders. Then draw back down to all fours. Keep that diagonal reach. Excuse me. I'm going to squeeze the elbows and drop the elbows down right underneath my shoulders. Notice how the forearms are parallel. This is a Sphinx position. Yeah, like an Egyptian cat. So I'm going to keep this Sphinx shape, rock forward, and then come back. And rock forward, and come back. And the whole time I'm thinking about not letting my hands sneak together and not letting my elbows pop out. So either one of those, if my forearms start to collapse in, then I start to scrunch my neck, or I start to face plant. So I'm just easy tipping forward and back, keeping that square frame. Arms are parallel, shoulders are nice and wide, biceps are consciously rolling forward, and the neck, I'm consciously checking that my neck is free. Good. So rocking forward, notice the strength required in the shoulders, but it's not a flexibility challenge. It's a bit of heat in the deltoids. The neck is still free. And then come back. It's this overhead reach that's kind of the interesting bit here. So I'm going to reach back. If your shoulders feel jammed, then we have a little bit of homework to do. If you can reach further back and still have some space in the neck, then great. I'm going to stay here, or curl up the toes and try to get my hips up off the ground as I lift into a dolphin. I'm going to stay back. So that I'm still separating. I'm teaching my body the difference between strong shoulders and gripping in the neck. So my neck is still easy while I keep my shoulders plugged in. And if this is too intense, you can leave the knees on the floor, of course. But it's the drive back that's interesting. Like I'm trying to kiss my knees. Pressing back. One more breath here. And then drop. I'm going to sink back to the child's pose and watch the hands come out to the wooden floor, giving me a chance to just explore and draw circles. Another contrast between heat and release. As I look right and look left, and dip a shoulder and then dip a shoulder. I'm going to come up back to my Sphinx alignment. So either taking reps here, or I'm going to lift my knees and take reps. Hopefully keeping my hands away from each other. Hopefully keeping my elbows close in under the shoulders. If you have a book or an object to put in between the hands so that they can't fall together, like bumpers in a bowling alley, that might help you keep your alignment. Otherwise, just playing. Again, I'm not counting reps. I'm just going to the point where I feel that I've got the burn in the shoulders and the intelligence of the movement. And then I'm going to come back. Bring the hands again out to the side, up on the fingertips, pop goofy elbows so I have maximum movement options. I'm going to start to play with the spine as well, maybe a little crescent lateral movement, maybe bumping the hips from side to side. Then we'll come back to downward facing dog. Hands coming forward, shoulders nice and wide, biceps rolling up, really push the floor away. Then lift back up to dog. The spine is long and the hips have plenty of room to pedal out. Maybe the heels are up in the air. Maybe the heels find the ground. It's all good. Take one more breath. Up on the tippy toes. Surf into a plank. Now you can always drop to all fours if the plank doesn't suit your body. If you feel good here, option to pick up a foot and I'm just going to tip my foot to the wooden floor. Take the other leg up and tip. Foot to the wooden floor. As always, I'm thinking about quality of the movement rather than busting out reps. I started on my right leg, so I'm going to close on my left leg. You can do more than me, you can do less than me, but I'm just taking these strength moments to awaken and coordinate, toning up everything that I can find, making sure I'm still breathing. And if you started on one leg, finish it on the other leg. Press it back to dog. Wiggle out this dog. On your inhale, pop up to the tippy toes, zip the belly, hollow forward, roll up into the hands, push the floor, bum tucks under. Staying strong here, and again, just tipping and playing. The intention is to control the movement of that leg without having to look at that leg. So I know that my toe is pointing. I know that the knee is straight. I know that it's fully extended out. It's meeting the floor without resting on the floor. And I'm not hurrying the movement. And if I started on one side, I'm going to close on the other. And then come back to dog, wiggle it out. And if you're feeling super muscular, you can plank or press up before you hit the ground, or if you're feeling chilly, you can just drop and melt. And we'll just meet up down here on the floor. I'm going to scoot back so I can put my head on the mat instead of the floor. I'm going to point the toes, pull the legs long. Wiggle out those fingers again, pop the elbows. Tuck your chin, forehead on your mat so your neck is nice and long and relaxed. And as you take a moment to slow the breath, using that heated moment to once more massage into all the options that we forget about in the upper body. So I'm going to really press my feet down behind me. You might feel the kneecap lift, thighs lift, gently stabilizing around the hips. Loop the shoulders together, keel up. And the hands are not doing much at all. In fact, they can come up off the floor. The only thing they're doing is a little bit of a pull and then melt down. Inhale, roll the shoulders. So a cobra variation, a light little pull. And melt down. Roll and pull. Feel free to close the eyes. Come to your internal rhythm. Your inhales float you up, your exhales melt you back down. This time, heel up. Open your eyes. I'm going to use my fingers just a little bit. I'm going to keep the legs engaged. I'm just going to look over the right, look over the left, and move laterally from side to side and build awareness to my upper back, back of the head, back of the neck. Animating in a way that's deliberate and comfortable. And I can breathe. And then roll it up. Bring your hands back into alignment, thumbs down by the ribs. And we gently stay back here so that as you pull through, the neck is nice and open. Continue to pull through. If you can straighten the arms and rise all the way up, awesome. I'm going to keep the long spine pulling through. I'm going to keep my legs engaged so I'm not just belly flopping down into the hips. And then I'm going to leave the knees on the floor as I zip. A little strong cat moment. Really curl the belly as you press. Take your time back to child's pose. Just for a breath here. Up on all fours. I'm going to keep the knees on the floor. I'm going to squeeze, slowly, slowly roll down. Inhale, upward dog. Keep the arms straight for a moment as you tuck, and like you're winding a little ball of string, you want to try to really sequentially roll back. Child's pose. Come back up. Thinking about those frames. The neck as long as you get the shoulders and the arms. Roll upward dog. And tuck back. And come on up. And this time, last one, I'm going to melt to the floor. Upward dog. Pause here for a second. Gripping and pulling the chest through. Now, if this is tight, just stay here or back off. If you feel good, I'm going to make sure my legs are engaged, thighs and glutes are engaged. And I'm going to look over my right shoulder, look over my left shoulder, and just feel how that little adjustment changes the conversation running through the tissues. So as I look to my right, my left hip flexors are getting a deeper adjustment. As I look over my left shoulder, right hip flexors are getting more release. Keep the arms straight, look down, zip and dive, pick it all the way back up to downward dog this time. Wiggle it out, shake off the head, come back to just a little moment of playtime. So those of you with tighter hips, you can step the feet a little bit wider even. Think about keeping those heels away from each other. If you're more flexible, or depending on what your style is like, you can bring the feet closer together, but tight hips go wider. I'm going to bend the knees. I'm going to walk my hands back, back, back till I load my weight in my footprint. Spine is nice and long and just loose hanging. You can nod yes and shake no. Whether your legs are straight or not depends on what feels good. Maybe you're dancing around, maybe you're a bit more static. And whether it's a flat back or evolving, I'm using the feet, shins, thighs, glutes to carry me up. Roll biceps open, palms open up, overhead, and the hands come back to center. Just take a breath here. So I'm going to bring the feet together. Take the arms up, lace your fingers, little index fingers pointing up at the sky. Looping the shoulders back, back, back. I'm still externally rotating, so the biceps are still rotating around, so I can reach without working against myself. Get nice and tall, ground the feet, arc up and over your right hand side. And then in contrast, get heavy in the left foot. Try to get a good view of the ceiling as you breathe and reach. I want to keep that top arm back by my ear if possible. Lower body is actively rooting as the upper body is adventurously reaching across the room. And peel it back up. Reverse your grip. Press through the feet, drop tall through the spine, lift through the throat. And then arc up and over to the left-hand side. Lower body really plugged in, especially the right foot as you lean away from that right foot. Eyes up as I roll the arm back, back, back. Pulling across as I sink in. Looking for that elastic, expanding quality. Peel it back up. I'm going to take a moment, cactus the arms here, and turn the thumbs to the back of the room. Yeah, that little adjustment should hopefully correspond to a little adjustment in the shoulders to feel the whole thing kind of lock into place. I'm going to separate out the feet. I'm going to press the thumbs back as I lift through the throat and try to squeeze my shoulders together, thumbs to the back of the room. Yeah, this will help us prevent any of this accidentally. And then I'm going to come forward, pinky fingers touch, elbows hopefully touch. And bring it back, and then elbows in, pinkies in. Thumbs back, exhale, and come in. We don't all have to breathe at the same time. In fact, the longer I teach, the less I specify the breath, but I hope that you stay aware and connected. Because if we just kind of do reps and forget about the breath, the attention span goes, the quality of movement gets lost. So I'm using my exhales to come forward, using my inhales to come back, but in my own natural pace. And I'm not counting reps. I'm going to stay until I feel the burn that I'm looking for in the shoulders, and the lessons that I'm looking for in the movement, feeling longer through the spine, a little more intelligent in the movement of my shoulders. And then I'm going to bring the arms out. So I'm keeping this space, my neck is nice and free, you can look around. Now I'm going to change my hand gesture, palms open, and I'm going to spin down. I want to think like there's a broomstick through my t-shirt. My elbows are real squared up. And then I'm going to rotate open again. In the rhythm of my own breath, exhaling, melting, inhaling, reaching. To whatever conscious pace works. Again, I'm not counting reps. I'm going to stay here as long as I can with quality of movement. I'm going to work until I feel like my shoulders are hiking into my jaw. Or until I just start panting and forget about breath. Kind of testing my patience a little bit as the shoulders heat up. Invariably, the elbows will start to droop, so I'm going to keep checking in, framing them up. And this will pay off in a second when we get to wiggle it out. Good, and frame up. leave the fingers. One hand pulls against the other. So first, I'm going to bring the hands down low. Yeah, so I'm really revealing the back of the neck and play a little bit as I circle, little crescents. And then this is a different intention. So right now my hands are dropping low to reveal the back of the neck. Now they're going to start to lift, and I feel the back start to light up again. The feet can move out a little bit wide again, especially if you're tight in the hips. Keep those heels away from each other. I'm going to lift the grip, bend the knees, and then swing my hips back so it's easy to drop belly on the thighs, ribs on the knees. Shake off your head. Think of the head just hanging like the end of a pendulum. And start to consciously take that grip higher up and over. This should feel really nice after all of that heating that we did in the shoulders. Making sure the knees are soft. I'm not so worried about the hamstrings here. If you're super flexible and the legs can be straight, that's fine. But I'm more interested in the spine and the shoulders. So don't let the hamstrings be a distraction. And eventually, all 10 fingers will hit the floor. Have a look forward with your heels and walk back out into your dog pose. Look forward if you can, push the floor, roll those biceps open so your neck is still nice and open. Press back, pedal off the legs, big long downward dog. Roll way out on the tippy toes, curl forward, plank down to the floor or melt to the floor as you wish. Spot that your thumbs are nice and low, so you have loads of space to reach open through the heart. Hopefully the arms are straight. If not, no worries. Either way, we're going to push the floor, curl back up, dive back to dog. Keep your right leg up into the air. Push the floor, curl. See if you can step all the way up into the hands. And if you can't, I'm going to drop to kneeling, grab my foot. One way or another, my foot gets all the way forward. And then you can come back up. Yeah? I'm going to push the floor, heel open. Hopefully the biceps open as I reach up. On your exhale, sink as little or as much as you can into that back thigh. If you don't have room to go big, I'm going to keep the arms close. Exhale down, so I'm just demonstrating the small practice space option with the hands traveling close. If you've got the bigger practice space option, I'm going to swivel palms open, biceps open. Exhaling, sinking in, inhaling, swiveling open. Spending some time here, gently warming up everything from head to toe. Good. Inhale, reach up, turn the thumbs to the back of the room, get that big conversation up, and then start to sharpen down into the hips, knee over the ankle, back leg travels a little further back. It doesn't have to straighten, especially if that's harsh on your back. And then from here, I'm going to drop down hands to the floor. I'm going to drop the back knee, and I'm just going to stay for a second pulling through. Then I'm going to melt back. Watch, lift the front toes. I'm going to point out how my knee is up in my chest, and I'm really close to my leg, and my toes are in the air. Then I'm going to sink back, and if this is 100%, this is 100%. If you can go further, grand. But so often I see this, a straight leg, and I'm no longer forward folding. This isn't too much of a challenge. I'm going to keep the thigh connected to the rib cage, and then this is the interesting part, how far my knee can move. Now we start to dial in the hamstring. Notice the shoulders are easy, the neck is easy. Come forward, pick up the back knee. I'm going to lean forward, walk those hands forward. Lean and step into that front foot as you take a your back leg up. Now again, if my hamstrings are tight, knee can be bent. This question here, the movement in the knee is what's interesting. I'm not so obsessed with a straight standing leg, but if you're more flexible, it may look that way. And then sink back, slide that long left leg back the way it came all the way back, slide your hands back to frame the right foot, push the floor, lift the belly, slip that right foot out from underneath you, stir that knee like you're stirring a giant cup of tea. Kick back up the way you came, both feet on the floor. Then take your left leg up. Way up on the tippy toes. I'm going to zip and curl, and maybe you can step your foot into the hands. Maybe you need to give it a little helping hand. No worries either way. Rock back, roll your way up. Swivel. If you've got room to go big, go big. Open up here, and then exhale, sink into the back knee. You're going to travel as little or as much as your knees let you, your low back lets you, your stability lets you. If you feel like you're on a tightrope, you can spread your feet out a little bit more to give yourself more base. You're returning to your internal rhythm. Inhale, feeling. Exhale, grounding, sinking into those strong engines underneath you. Spending as much time here as you want until you feel satisfied that you're warming up so that you can release more effectively. And inhale. Keep the arms up in the air, thumbs to the back of the room. Bend the front knee. Now your back leg ventures back as far as is intelligent for your body today. Check in with your sensations. Big ta-da moment. 50% up, 50% down. One more inhale. And slowly melt it back down. Drop the back knee. Stay here for a moment, continuing to surrender that right hip behind you. And then as I start to venture back, I'm going to lift my toes, consciously keeping my knee towards my chest, consciously keeping my belly and my thigh connected. Then this is the interesting part. This prevents a couple of things. It prevents this, with my shoulders clamping around my ears. It also prevents this. I have a straight leg, but there's miles here between my thigh and my belly. And if you're more flexible, sure, you can sit and drop, and maybe your head's on your shin. I'm not warmed up enough yet to do that. Maybe I'll be more flexible next time. But I'm respecting the sensation rather than commanding my forehead to be on my shin today. Rock forward, pick up the back knee. Walk your fingers forward so that you have load. I'm going to step and load into that foot. Push the floor, and again, I'm looking for a deep fold, and maybe a straight leg is a bonus. Notice the attention in that flying leg as you find standing splits. My neck is still free. Slowly shift back the way you came. Right leg comes back, hands slide back to frame that front foot once more. Push the ground, lean forward. Notice the plank arms. Notice the biceps rolling forward. I'm going to slip the left foot and circle the hip socket around. Loads of space to breathe. Kick back up. Pedal off the legs. The opportunity to chill out in child's pose if you wish, or opportunity to keep dancing through playing upward dog, downward dog. You might have your own style here. Make it strong or gentle. Make it deliberate. So this time I'm going to lean forward into the shoulders a little bit. I'm going to slowly tiptoe tap dance. I'm going to take all the time in the world. Notice how my heels are up. I'm barely up on my toes. I'm starting to push the floor, get a little more upside down. If one day you want to play with handstands, this is really good prep. I'm just sneaking in and I'm trying to keep as much weight in my hands as I can. The shoulders are going to rise. I'm doing my best not to clamp my neck. And then eventually I'll step in. If you get stuck partway, your hands can come back to your feet. We'll meet up here in the forward fold. Wiggle out the shoulders. Bounce the knees. And take your path up, whether you sprout like a seed or come up flat like a deadlift. It's clearly one or the other. Biceps open on your way up if you have the room. And my hands come back. Good, so we're going to turn side view. I'm going to take the feet out nice and wide. I'm going to turn the toes out to side as well. Turn the knees out side to side as well. Up through the throat, high five out, sink down into the legs. And we've got those 4 points. The shoulders should be nice and intelligent here. I'm going to kind of tug over from side to side for a second just to make sure that my shoulders are going away from me, not up into my jaw. Lifting the back of the throat, sinking into the legs. And we'll stay for as long as you can welcome the heat. So just like meeting the challenge of a stretch, the breath will help calm the reaction. It's also true with strength work. You can even test it for yourself. I'm going to settle into some heat and consciously slow the breath. I'm kind of telling the muscles it's not such a big deal. See if you've got another little inch to sink into. And then push, slowly rise and back up. Turn the toes forward, outer blades of the feet in line with the sides of the mat. I'm going to bend the knees, push down on my legs. I'm just chilling and resting here for a second. Arch and curl, so that you're really aware of your options in the spine. So often, wide-legged forward fold can lack awareness. So I'm aware of the fact that I could look up and look down, that my hips could rotate up or rotate down, that my shoulders could be in front of me or be behind me. So this cat-cow variation here really starts to clarify what we're trying to do in wide-legged forward fold. And what I want to do is lift my tail. So you've got to sway back like a horse, then melt down. Then your hands are just resting on the floor. Make sure you're not accidentally pushing the floor away. So my hands are just chilling, waiting for my head to hit the ground. Press down, maybe the knees are bent or straight. I'm deliberately keeping my knees soft. I could straighten them, but I think it'd be less interesting. I'm going to shift from side to side. Lift the tail, drop the head. Then maybe after a couple breaths, then maybe I'm going to think about being a little more static in my intention. Maybe if I can straighten the legs, I'm going to drive that intention a little more. If it feels good, and if some days it doesn't, then I'm totally happy not to. Get that long pendulum chain down through the spine. Feel the head like the weight of a pendulum, releasing again. Nod your head yes, shake your head no. Just inviting the head down towards a headstand one day. And again, whether it's a flat back or you're revolving up, right toes down the back of your mat, bend and straighten that leg. Slowly opening out this warrior stance. So if you've got knee issues, hip issues, if you have to turn it diagonally in, fine, make sure your toes are diagonally in as well. Hopefully it's all square out the back of the mat, modify what feels good. Ground the straight leg as well, press your pinky down, lift the arch, lift the inner thigh. Waking that strength back up as you reach out, find that little action, counter action, tug of war through the arms that we've been playing with, up through the throat. Send your eyes over the right hand and just stay. Thinking less about parts and pieces in anatomy and more about just integration. Check in with the breath. Deep inhales and the exhales will remind the body that this isn't such a big deal. Big inhale. I'm just going to lean forward, rest on that thigh, shake the left arm off, check in, reestablish that pinky toe. So often that foot collapses. Ground that back foot, sink down into the hips, heel and rotate up, and spread the shoulders and reach up. So the more intelligent I am with that back leg and that tailbone pointing to the back foot, the more I'm going to open those abductors. I'm going to keep lengthening up and reaching up to the point that I'm lifting myself off that right thigh. So I'm lifting and reaching so much that this elbow might start to float up, so I'm energizing the core. I'm going to energize and straighten this leg till I lift into, I'm going to call this half triangle. I'm not trying to put my right hand on the ground. This is a ton of work. I'm really wicking the thighs in, my tailbone's pointing to my back foot, the shoulders spread, and I'm carrying my body weight here. I'm not slouching, I'm not ragdolling to the ground. And then come on back up, turn your right foot in, left knee, left toes down the back of the mat, bend and straighten that leg a couple times, modify as needed. Set the knee over the heel, grounding that back pinky toe, up through the throat, get that tug of war going through the shoulders, and set the eyes over the left hand. Taking a moment to pull the focus back, integrating the pose, both feet, both shins, both legs, connecting to hips, belly, ribs, both shoulders, both arms, both hands. Continuing up through the neck and the head. One more breath. And slowly bend the elbow, lean forward. Take a moment here, consciously swing your tail back, consciously plug in that back foot. Rotate open, spreading the shoulders, reaching up. Maybe have a sense of leaning back. Say hi to that little inner thigh stretch. Keeping your engines running. And then spark up. Start to reach and lift. So much that I can start to take my weight off this elbow. I'm going to float up, and then straighten the front leg, keeping the core engaged. Sparky hands, I'm not resting on that front thigh. Avoid this. Yeah? I'm going to peel up, folding my tail to the back of the room, so as much as my abductors will allow me to move with control, make sure your knees feel good. One more breath here in this half triangle. So when you're ready, come on up. Turn your left foot in, right foot down the back of the room. Flat into warrior two. We were here before. Up through the throat, out into the arms. Then the elbow lean into side angle. Slowly rotate open, and this time take your stronger variation if you have one. Yeah, I might choose to notice I'm swiveling, looking at my palm, looking at my biceps. There's that rotation again, which allows me to reach without closing and scrunching in. Maybe staying here. Maybe fingertips inside your ankle. If you're going for the bind, go for the bind. I'm not going to teach it today. I'm going to take this left arm back up. I'm going to prop back up. And then as we move into triangle now from here, you're going to head towards your favorite variation. You might stay in the strength range of motion where I was. You might feel like you can fold deeper and slide deeper. As long as you keep your chest open, as long as you still have a great view of the ceiling, you might venture a little further. Make sure you're not too obsessed with reaching the floor. There's upward intention as you reach. Come on back up. Right foot in. Left knee to the back of the room. Take a moment to settle and adjust. We'll fly the arms out, up through the throat, wide through the shoulders, sinking into the hips. Inhale. Lean. Landing to your side angle stretch, consciously swinging the tail back, consciously peeling open. Either staying here if this is enough, and there's a lot to be found here. You might swivel so you can see your palm and your bicep. Again, rotating around, then reaching overhead. Then maybe sinking in. Maybe fingers find the floor. Maybe taking the bind if that's intelligent for you today. I'm not going to teach it. One more breath here. Heel yourself back, up, right hand to the sky. Heel yourself back up, elbow on the knee. Heel yourself up into that half triangle, staying in the muscular range of motion, and then maybe tempting a deeper Trikonasana. Have a sense of leaning back. So often when you reach for the floor, you start to cave in. It's like getting my hands on the ground. I'm going to roll up and maybe not quite hit the floor. Or maybe it's there. One more breath. Heel it back up. Turn the feet in. Land on the knees. Nice little wiggly opportunity. Arching and curling, or maybe creating more twisted or lateral movements. Now maybe wide-legged forward fold, lifting the tail, melting the head. Maybe this is getting a little more headstand like after all of that leg work. If headstands in your practice, feel free. If not, I'm just going to hang out here and slowly, over days and weeks and months, drop my head towards the floor over time. So we're going to calm down. I'm going to heel toe the feet in. I'm going to sink into a little tiptoe squat here. We're going to wind up sitting, so if this doesn't suit your body, you can certainly come down to sitting now and skip this part. I'm just going to take a little moment before we close the standing work to stay in those intelligent feet. Now you can use the hands if you need, or I might bring I'm going to keep the knees wide, but I'm going to kind of curl and bring the knees towards my armpits as my hands reach forward. So notice that counterbalance. I'm going to reach forward as I sink back. Slowly try to lay it down. If it's clunky, it's clunky. If you can kind of float down, that's nice, but not required. Bring the feet together, let the knees fall out. Just bounce off here. So we've done a lot of big, wide stuff. Lots of classical standing yoga poses, which is great stuff, but I want to take a little brief moment to counter it. Instead of all the forward folding and abducting, want to extend and internally rotate a little bit. I'm going to start that from here. So you're going to bring the feet a little bit wide, bring the hands a little bit behind you. I'm just going to windshield wiper, so notice as I throw my knees from side to side, it throws my hips from side to side, and I'm definitely allowing the spine to arc. Yeah, so it'll be hard to twist if you're curled into a ball. Look over the far shoulder as you do. Just play for another minute or two and then come back. And I'll turn this way actually. I'm gonna keep my right knee, take the left leg straight. Option one, stay here. If you're really tight in the ball, maybe you might sit on a pillow or a block or whatever you have at home, something to boost you up. I want a nice long spine. Option two, I'm going to cross this long leg and step over it. Option three, so long as you can keep your bum solid on maybe the floor or maybe on a couple of books or something. If your knees are good, you can fold this leg in and head towards Matsyendrasana. Again, use your wisdom. Your knees should not be a distraction if you're going for this. Yeah, this is maybe, wherever you want to be. Yeah? So regardless of what you choose there, I'm going to push down on this knee. I'm going to squeeze the thighs in. And just for a second, bring your right hand in behind. Notice how I'm really looping my shoulder around, and I'm going to prop it in close. I'm not chilling way back behind you. I'm going to bring that hand in close, close, close. Draw up through the back of the throat. And I'm going to push on my knee. Yeah, these two really connecting to each other. I'm going to use my inner thigh to help drop this outer hip. And I'm going to keep that activity and then reach the left arm up and keep winding. So I have to activate into this. And so often with twists, I feel like people pull themselves into the pose. My arms are not going to yank my spine around. My core muscles are originating this action. Up, 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 up. I might drop my elbow on top of my kneecap and keep climbing up. Maybe you can look over the right shoulder. Option as well to bring this elbow outside the thigh. And now the arms are really starting to leave for your twist. Make sure this feels like a nice wringing out through the rib cage and the neck. Nothing stabby or pokey in your low back. And if you know how to take more advanced options here, if you know how to go for bind, go for it. I'm not going to teach it today. Unwind, come back. Unwind, no slingshotting. Unhook that foot, take that leg nice and long. I'll turn so that I'm still facing you guys. So I'm going to take the left knee in, right leg long. Making sure you're sitting tall, whether it's the floor or the blocks. Option one. Option two. Option three. Whatever it is, your joints feel good and you feel plugged in on the floor. Push down nice and tall. Loop, consciously draw a big circle, left shoulder around behind. Push down on the fingerprints. And I'm going to make orange juice between the hand and the knee for a second. Using your inner thighs. Notice how that feeds your twist, especially after all that wide standing stuff. This has been working, and I want to consciously drop it by lighting up the inside of the leg. Up through the throat, look over the left shoulder behind you. Reach that right arm up. Keep spinning and activating. Spin, 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 and activate around. Drop that elbow. Maybe on top of the knees, you climb a little higher. Maybe outside the thighs, you use that leverage to wring out the upper back. If you know how to take stronger variations, please feel free. Gently unwind.
that, I can explore the path down. This is the interesting part, especially halfway, you're starting to get this length down through the quads, especially after that standing folded work. Blue step. Now vertebrae disc, vertebrae disc, vertebrae disc. Press the blue step. Go for about 2 more here in your own time. How much detail can you get out of the movement? Can you really feel that you're putting one vertebrae down at a time? Way slower than your breath. So I'm conscious of my inhales and exhales here, but if they are not connected to this movement, this is super slow. I'm really gonna bridge up, waking up the backside to open the front side. And the last one, and it's like all the time in the world, I'm gonna realize how much work it takes to resist gravity and to lengthen the back of the waist. Using the belly, using the bum a little bit to roll down, roll down, roll down, roll down. So feel free to pause and keep practicing. I know I didn't do a lot of spinal extension. We'll do some in the next practice. If you have time, now is the time. So if you're ready to head towards stillness, this is a nice little counter. I'm just going to take my left leg in, excuse me. I'm going to take my left leg in and I'm going to hug the leg just so that it keeps the belly and the spine from moving around. So I can't really arch and curl very well with my thigh and my belly and my chest. And then my right leg is slowly going to inch across the floor. And this is an interesting sensation. I'm paying attention to my right hip as it slowly lengthens out. I'm paying attention to my low back. So notice as that leg lengthens out, and especially as you get towards the last quarter of your movement, if your back arches up off the floor, it means your hip flexors need to relax and calm down a little bit. So I'm going to try to keep my spine nice and long on the floor as I slowly, like an unraveling tendril, just let that right leg relax, and hopefully I'll find a long leg with my back nice and relaxed as well. So another way to say this, if you find it hard to relax the back of your waist and the front of your hip, what links those two are the deep hip flexors. And they might be kind of grumpy and tight. They're quite commonly grumpy and tight. So it should be a nice calming sensation through the core and through the body. I'm going to switch sides. So I'm going to take my right knee in just as a way to anchor the body and to really clarify my focus on opening the front of the left hip. So I'm here, and as long as it takes, in fact, the slower the better. There's some somatic teachers that would take like 5 minutes to do this. There's so much subtle detail to be found. I'm listening to my hip and I'm listening to the back of my waist. So suddenly the curve of my spine rises up off the floor. I've got some softening to do, some calming to do. Really pay attention to that last quarter of movement as that leg slowly, eventually drops to gravity and lengthens across the floor. I'm hopefully feeling a calmness and an openness in the front of the hip and the back of the waist. And eventually, any little things you'd like to do before we come down to stillness? Maybe putting on layers, maybe turning off the lights.